when I moved to Georgia with the guidance of another person's mother, got into the military and just tried to find my own way. But while doing so, I was raising myself from 17 on to this point where it was like I thought I knew the way. I thought I was doing what I was supposed to have been doing. And I'm not saying I wasn't, because now I'm at a point where all of my credentials, all of my journeys, all of my jobs, all of my experiences, all of the traveling I've done, all of the people I've met, all of the relationship experiences I've had, all of those things are only things that are going to make me be, I feel as though, one of the most empowering women on this planet going into 2020 and beyond. And I'm a person who has done several jobs. So I'll break it down. Like I said, I was a babysitter 13, started working at McDonald's, cashier, drive through. Only thing I didn't do in there was the kitchen. But then when I started working at the hospital, I was a food service worker, and I worked in dietary as well. Was able to mainly be on the grill, cooking, things like that. And then I evolved in the hospital because I like the environment of care for people. So I went from that to learning about transporting patients. That was brief. Then I was administrative technician, which at the time was basically secretarial duties. And at that time, we were required to submit pharmacy orders. So I was a pharmacy tech, basically. I didn't administer any drugs, but we had to put doctor's orders in, assist the nurses with things, the nurse techs, do the planning, scheduling, discharge and admissions, answering call bells, secretarial duties. And then I evolved to basically doing nurse tech, or at the time it was patient care technician, and being a sitter. And being a sitter and a patient attendant, you get to be with the patient the entire shift. And I work 12-hour shifts. And you get to really just develop a comfortability for them. And you watch them, you monitor them, but not in a watchful way, but more so in a caring way, because you want to nurture them. You want to assist them, whether it's a hospice patient, on the mother baby unit. I was a floater once I became involved in nursing, and received my CNA, became a nurse tech, worked in nursing homes, worked in facilities, clinical facilities, and worked in the hospital setting. And in Georgia, I worked for DeKalb Medical Center as well. So I really was trying to learn about the medical field, about conventional medicine, and I very young recognized that I wanted to do natural medicine, simply because I hate taking pills. I absolutely hate needles. I absolutely hate medicine. I hate feeling like I'm being drowsy or whatever. I hate side effects to medications. I hate commercials that have the small writing at the bottom talking about the risks, and all the fast talking about the risks, but then the man and woman holding hands and skipping through the park while they're saying that you could have a seizure from taking that pill. It's certain things that just didn't sit well with me. I've worked in warehouses. I worked at UPS with my husband. We did this together. While he was in HVAC school, we assisted each other, with a lot of different things and growth. I helped him learn how to drive and get his own vehicle. And I was a stripper. It really made me have a juggler lifestyle, which I'm no longer doing. But at the time, I was stripping at night, bartending, and then I was in the military. I was truck driver, pulling support for the U.S., while also, like I said, working in the medical field. And I was an educator. I was able to work first a service member for AmeriCorps, which is a U.S.-based type of Peace Corps type of organization, in which was through Georgia State University. And I was able to be at Carter G. Weston Elementary School. At the time, that's the name of the school. And it was a wonderful principal, wonderful vice principal who taught me so many different things. I was able to mentor a young group of young boys who had what they called behavioral health issues. And I had became a science lab instructor for that school. It was a primary elementary school, so it was only pre-K to second grade. So I was incorporated into the schedule along with another person that was in the program with me. And we were able to be science lab instructors and got to develop my own schedule, plan experiments for the students, and learn how to teach them the way I wanted to teach them science. It just was the most amazing thing because that connected me with the youth, and it made me recognize that I wanted to be able to have very much abundance in knowledge and enlightenment of the world before I have my own children. Even working in the medical field, I realized that I wanted to go above and beyond the minimal. So my goal intended was to rise to the point of being an actual doctor, in which it still is the goal in life for me. But like I said, natural medicine was a thing I desired to do. And that's still what I'm trying to do. And that pathway is where I'm currently intending on heading. But now that I began my channel, I'll be able to see from here where I will go. Other than those jobs, like I said, dancing was honestly fun because ever since I was 11, I used to write. And I stopped writing when I was 17 because of my situation in my first relationship, the person I lost my virginity to. Basically, I, to this day, still feel like I was raped. But I don't want to accuse him in that way because a part of me promised myself that at age 18, I would be vulnerable to the idea of losing my virginity. But I didn't have full structure yet in that. And that person became my first experience of domestic violence relationship. And I can now admit that in 2019, no matter who tries to say what, and I'm not victimizing myself, that is just simply what I went through. I went through domestic violence and abuse, being called names, being told I wasn't worth something, I was ugly. When I changed or tried to change my style, I was told I shouldn't because it's stupid, and just many different things. But that was my first time in a domestic abuse relationship. I've only had 3 relationships that I claim in my life. And I'll be touching on those things as well. But generally, like I said, this video is an intro to myself, an intro to just me wanting to speak out about the I am who, the who am I portion of our existence as human beings. And just for people to know that if you have confusion right now about yourself and your own existence, you're recognizing imperfections, you're recognizing some truths about family, you're recognizing truths about the world. There's shock effects hitting you on a day-to-day basis. You're waking up hours of the night that you typically don't, and you don't know why. You're having dreams and visions, or you've stopped dreaming. You haven't been able to remember your past. Whatever it is, just know that somebody in the world other than you is probably experiencing the same thing. And there's nothing wrong with trying to listen to other people for the sake of understanding outside of your body what is going on around you. But just know that it's necessary to also have a time in your day, in the 24 hours that is in one day. You need to take a moment to actually be silent with yourself, to go inward and literally take that self journey. That's just simply what I'm coming to the conclusion of, is that self journeys are highly necessary for you to understand how to elevate to your next part of life. So I go by BREI Mac and Cheese or India Devi. BREI Mac and Cheese is simply because my name is Brianna McFadden. It's an Irish name. I'm Irish on my father's side. So basically, BREI is a cheese. Mac is an abbreviation of my last name. And cheese is just, putting it all together. I'm just a cornball. So that's my name. And then I go by India Devi as well because of a journey that I took in my alter ego, which I'll also explain and talk to people later about. You all have a very wonderful week or however long I may be gone. And God bless. Happy inwards if you all decide to take a self journey.